So right now, guys, I am separating the elephant ears. I used my knife because the roots were root bound because it had apparently been in the container for a while. So it was root bound, but it was growing really good in there. It was a windy day. The heat outside was 93 and it felt like it was 103. The humidity was very high. This is why you don't see me talking. I was extremely hot. I didn't even want to talk during the video, but I had to show you all how to separate elephant ears. There are spaces or indentations in the midst of your elephant ears. So when you choose an elephant ear, always choose the one with lots of spaces because you'll get your money's worth. What I did was I cut in between the spaces. And as you see, the first one I took off was a very small one. So I actually put that in my pond because elephant ears, they love sun, and I believe it would grow very well out there. Once I start cutting, I got to a corm. The corm still had little buds coming off of it, so I didn't want to separate it because I felt like it could still grow something. So I just kept them together right there. And you will totally get your money's worth if you choose a plant that has lots of spaces in between. So this one is going into the pond. It had a very good root system on it, and so it fit perfectly with everything else that I had in there. Now you see me, I am going to the pond. I am fitting it in there, and it fits perfectly, but I already have my fish in there, so I have to be very careful about how I restructure everything. I didn't know whether to put that in a container. I really didn't know what to do with it, but it was just something I was just going with. Like I said, I never know if anything is going to work. I just go with it. So I am getting ready to repot the two that I took off, and I'm going to get them repotted. Now you see me, I am washing off my pots because I always have pots. I have so many pots in my shed, it is ridiculous. You never know when you're going to need a pot. And these actually match the pond. So they looked really good when I put them next to the pond. But of course they need some wrenching off. So excuse the butt shot, not intentional. But a little Dawn dishwashing liquid goes a long way. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to get these cleaned out. I'm going to spray them out. And then I'm going to get these plants potted up. I love to do is I love to put mulch in the bottom of my pots. The reason I love mulch is because I know that the roots of plants can penetrate mulch. It is not heavy like soil. If you don't have a good soil grade, some plants, it takes a lot to penetrate them because it's muddy. I use compost and I mix it with peat moss. But if you use mulch, it can just totally go through. If you'll watch my other videos, you'll see how I started planting my plants in water instead of soil. So now I'm just mixing everything up and I'm getting ready to start the potting process. There goes the compost. You always want to give your plants a I use 10-10-10, which is a slow release fertilizer, and it seems to work for my plants. I'm in zone 7B, so I'm not sure the hardiness of your plants or what zone you're in, but you always want to use that. And you never want to sit your plants up so high that your roots are not covered. So you got to eye it. You just have to be a plant person to know that. But you want to put them at least, give them some room so the roots can take a hold and grow, and they can grow very large in a container that you pick for them. Just make sure that they're not too high and they're not too low. You can put your plants on the side of a pot if you're going to put something else in. Sometimes you need a thriller, a filler, and a spiller. I was planting them by themselves, so I just put them directly in the pot. The one thing that I learned about the colocaceas is that they have a very good root system, and they will just take over the container and they will grow very well by themselves. So depending on how big you want your plant to grow, that's how you determine what you want to put in the pot with them. I want mine to grow really big, so I put them in the pot by themselves. I need them to be hardy, and I need them to be healthy. Is getting very low. I usually have 2 big tubs of compost, but because I have been gardening all summer long, my compost is running very low. So I've just started composting again. I have my container in the back. It's ready. My landscaper came. He gave me my grass. I love using my own grass because I know my grass is healthy. I know what we put in our grass, and you can use coffee grounds or eggshells, or you can do whatever you want to do in your plant. I like to put it in compost because it will decompose down and it will leave your soil so healthy. So here's my first plant. I'm done with that one. And all I'm doing, if you put mulch on the top, it will keep the sun from drying out your soil. And once you water your plant, all your moisture stays in your plant. So I love to put mulch on top of my plants. And there you have it, guys. I am tired. I'm exhausted. The sun has beat me up, but yes, I did it. I have my plant